Hi guys, I got a Honda Accord here. This is a 2014. But if you guys got an issue with the Honda Accord and you have all these lights, the steering light over here, the engine is also giving us other lights, but we have the steering light. I'm gonna start this up and show you guys with traction light. The tire light is okay because it does come on, but pressure is low in this vehicle, but that's fine. But then you got the ABS light, you got the brake light comes on. So I'm gonna start the engine to show you. But I scanned the car and it's giving us codes 3811 ABS solenoid valve malfunction, 151-11 low. That's pressure tire. That's why I know he got flat tires. But what we're gonna do here is every time I reset this, the light comes right back on as soon as you hit the door. And but watch this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect this guy and we're gonna start the engine. So all these lights just stay on. If you reset it, they come right back on. So I do have a module for this vehicle and I'm gonna go pop that in. I'm gonna show you guys how to do it completely and easily. So let's continue the video. Okay, so we're finally gonna fix this guy and I've been waiting for this guy. So we had this module here. So this all came in packed just like this one right here. This is a pump over here. So since we got a code here, it is running, it is working. It's just the solenoid. See, these are these little solenoid, but these don't usually go bad. It's the chips inside, and it's well known this car has an issue. So I took off this pump. Try not to on that one. Try not to take off the pump. It's going to be very difficult for you to get this bearing in there. And you see these two little pins right here. This is what's going to capture in here right there. So it's gonna line itself and it's gonna go in there. So all you need to do is pull this module off. We're gonna make a little bit of clearance and this module is gonna go on. So we're gonna do this perfectly evenly, and you cannot, like a lot of times people want to wiggle this back and forth. No, this has got to go out straight, okay, because you will damage stuff inside. Anyways, that's the piece right there. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're not gonna remove any of the lines. We are gonna take off this connector. So to take out this connector, you need to push down on this tab, and I'm gonna need both hands. So I'm gonna set up my camera, and also we got a number 10 bolt right there, number 10 right there, and number 10 down here. So I'm gonna take those three off, and that way this module can go this way a little bit. And also I'm gonna take off this wheel because we're gonna be able to work a lot from the bottom. So yeah, no, not really. We might have a little bit of space down here, but we're gonna have to fish out all the bolts, and we might be able to do that just from up above. And once we loosen this guy up, we should have more clearance. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what I used there. So that bolt is out. It's gonna probably fall. So I took off this bolt here. I'm using this deep 10 with the swivel and a smaller extension. So I only got one left down here, which I'm gonna have to fish out somehow, some way. Let me take this one off. Okay, so I'm gonna get that third one out and then we'll talk. So this is where I'm taking off that third bolt from right here in that position. That's how it's gonna come off. And you can take off the 3 bolts underneath this, or 2, whatever it has, 2 or 3. I find this much easier. So this thing does have like 3 bolts. You see the 3 holes? It does have 3 bolts down below. Okay, so we're gonna push down on this tab. We got all 3 bolts loose, so you see this thing is moving. And I did take off this little retainer right here, this little clip on the wiring here. Push down on this tab, and then you should be able to push back on this guy. And if you need to hold it one more time, sometimes it might get stuck. I'm gonna push this guy. There you go. Okay, and then just wiggle this a bit, not too much. Don't go crazy. You don't want to break the pins inside, but this thing's gonna come off. And now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna loosen up 2 bolts here. 1 and 2, and there's 2 in the bottom. So I'm gonna get the bottom ones first and then the top ones later. Okay guys, so what I did was I put my pry bar over here across, and I strap tied this guy, and it's just holding it down in one position for me. And now it's very easy for me to put my hands down here and get these bolts off. That's all you need to do. Do not take off those brake lines, or you're gonna be going bananas. And if you need to, you want to, you can. Okay, so there's one of the bolts. Okay, now
I forgot one thing. Make sure you disconnect the battery. So I do have the battery disconnected. So take off the negative. That's one thing I forgot to mention and show. So here's one more right here. So these guys are pretty loose, and I should be able to turn in my hand now. Nope. T20 wants to fall. So this is an issue on these. I have like 20 Hondas come in to me, same issue. Even though we bought this a used module, but I would suggest go with a brand new one. And throughout the pandemic, the dealer said they didn't have it, nobody had it. So we just been going bananas trying to get this piece. It was on back order. Oh, there's one of my bolts fall down, but we got extras from the new one. So the moment of truth, this guy is just gonna come right back. So it's probably gonna be stuck because it has a seal on it. So all you're gonna do is yank back, just like so. So you see these little guys, these pins came out with it. I don't like that. So what you wanna do is, if you want, you could put these in, or you could stick it in there, okay? So what we're gonna do is, let's get the new module here. So we'll do the same thing. Instead of, you know what, let me fix up my camera so we can see it better now. In a different angle, like a little higher maybe. And let's bring our light over to this side. Yeah, there you go, that's more solid. So what we can do here is, we could take, this is our, the new module we got. So it has a seal all around it, so make sure that seal is here, so you don't want the other seal staying behind. Now you double up on your seal. So what we're gonna do here is, let's put this here. So let's take off these little pins, one at a time. And just keep it in order. Let's stick this one here. And you see the way they're facing? They're facing outward. So keep it the same direction. Bada bing, bada boom, this is in. Okay, I bent it a bit, but that's okay. So long as they stay closed, you're good. So over here, let's see if there's any difference here. I don't see nothing difference here. And okay, you don't want no water or nothing on this. So what we're gonna do is, now you need to get this thing going into the same groove, okay? It has to go in same groove. If it doesn't go in properly, it's not gonna align and it might not sit inside properly. Okay, I feel that it's not going in properly. Okay, all right. Okay. So I want to guess something to see if this is good. Okay, one of the sliders going in good, but the other one is not. So I'm gonna get a little bit of help, meaning I need to squeeze them in a bit. So let me go grab something. So I got a small little pick here, which is clean. So what I want to do is, see this guy goes in good, but this side, the left side of your left, as you can see in the camera, it doesn't go in properly. So I'm gonna try to push it so it can be caught on perfectly. It's like a small little rail. It needs to travel right through that rail. And this is where you're gonna be spending most of your time, right here, doing this guy. This is where most of your time is gonna get wasted. Which I don't see it as wasted, but let me put this stuff away. So, now what we're gonna do? We're gonna take it off the old one. So I'm gonna take this guy off. You see how it slides right through here? That's what it needs to do. So we're gonna slide this guy right through in. You can't go wrong long as you spend your time with it. If you don't spend time with it, it's not gonna work out. So make sure you guys watch the video till the end, okay? Because you see how it's sitting in there, but it doesn't want to come out. It won't fall out no more. It's just sitting there. Even if I try to push it towards one direction, it just won't fall out, and I could feel it that it did grab. So that's a good thing. Okay, so do it that way, guys. Get these pins in. Okay, you see what I was talking about? It won't fall out because once it's in there, it will not come out this way, no matter how much I do, because it's sliding on a small little rail. So we're gonna take this guy and get the second one in. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, now what we're gonna do is you could take these two off. Okay, I'm gonna get these two off. That's one thing. Now you could completely see if it sits good on this side. And remember, there's 4 pins there. Those guys are just gonna. These are the 4 pins I'm talking about right here. Where's the other module? Okay, it's not on the module. It's on the housing itself. So there is a small little function there. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you guys something, but I can't do it now since it's part of. Okay, now I can see. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. So what we need to do now is, if you guys want to replace the whole thing, you can replace the whole thing. I would suggest if you bought it from junkyard, replace the whole thing. But the only thing I did it was because the reason why I did it was because customer requested to do it that way. And worst come to worst, change the whole thing. That'd be our last option. I did want to change the whole thing, but you always gotta stick with your customer. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna lock this baby down and make sure you get all the bolts in. I need to get one bolt from the old module. There you go. This guy's in. This guy's in. Alright guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the bolts in, and then we'll come back and we'll reset the light and take it for a drive. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with this guy. What we're going to do is, let's remove this guy right here. So I had this pick here, and that's how that pry held that guy in place. Okay, I'm going to cut this off, but right now, let's leave that alone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one bolt in just in case I need to take everything apart. To put this guy back in, make sure this harness goes in nicely and evenly. And then the magic is going to be done by this white clip. Okay, this white clip right here, all you need to do is yank forward, and it should go right in. But I'm going to need both of my hands. And that closed up. Okay, so I couldn't close this connector, but I should have been able to do it with one hand. This little guy, since this is from junkyard, was in there. So as you can see, there's a white little retainer here. So you can't have two in there. So I pulled this guy out. And watch how simple this is. So now I should be able to push this guy in, and it should be able to lock itself right in. Bada bing, bada boom. Make sure you put all 3 bolts in. Whatever you took apart, everything has to go back in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pre-test. I'm going to test drive it around. If the problem is confirmed, I'll give you guys thumbs up. But remember, told the customer we need to replace the whole thing, but the customer refused. But remember, there's a small little piece electronic in there, so that could be faulty. And I did tell that to the customer, but customer made his decision. Anyways, this is what it is. Just wanted to give you guys, if you do want to change the module, that's how you're going to change it. And let's keep it going. All right, guys, we're all done. What we're going to do is, let's reset the light. I got my scan tool in here. We're going to start up the car. I'm going to back it up a bit. So to do something like that, you are going to need a snap-on. This is a snap-on Solo's Edge. I paid about 4 grand. And we're going to back up. 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 And we're going to back up.
And we got all the lights. Okay. Oh, look at that. We're gonna reset the light, but all the lights have gone away except that traction light. I'm not sure about that light. And oh, I did put in the tire pressure as well. But we're gonna see what that light's about. Okay, so as you guys can see, all the lights just went off on this on, which what I'm happy about. We got the steering light on. That's gone. Let's put it to drive. Okay, the steering light just turned itself off. And the traction light just turned itself off. Let me go forward because I don't know if I want it because I went forward or back. But guys, oh, amazing, amazing. All right, I'm still gonna reset the lights. But let me show you guys one more thing, okay? One more thing. There's a fuse, okay? I want you to check this fuse because I did check that fuse on this vehicle like a few months back. So there's a fuse inside this box. Ah, come on. I'm excited. All right, so you see this 40 amp, this right here, make sure you take care of this as well. I did change this. It's just an 8mm bolt right here. This thing comes off, this whole thing, okay? It's a big fuse like that. So it's gonna be set of fuses. So all these fuses, it says ABS, VS, okay? But that never made any difference. But you do need to check that before you even tackle that. But if that fuse is bad, we would never get a signal from the module. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. And we finally fixed this guy. Woo!